Tottenham star slams teammates who lack desire to fight in Crystal Palace defeat. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Before we dive into this update, be sure to press that subscribe button and keep up with all the latest news. Tottenham keeper Guglielmo Vicario slammed the attitude and fight of his tame team after a horrible defeat at Crystal Palace. And Ange Postecoglou admitted his side lost the battle against their South London rivals. Jean-Philippe Mateta netted the only goal of the game to see the Eagles lift themselves out of the bottom three. But Italy's star Vicario said, "They fight, and I think we lack that today. We're disappointed because we have to fight. We play good football, but maybe sometimes we lack the desire to fight. They show a real desire to fight for something. I think we lacked a bit of energy and to be better than them." Captain Son Heung-min was out injured, but Vicario added, "He is the captain, but we have a big squad and we have to deal with that. We have to be able to win games without Son. We lacked in something, not in football, but attitude and fight." Head coach Ange Postecoglou said his team had fallen into the trap of trying to play Palace at their own game. "It turned into a bit of a battle," said the Aussie. "They dealt with it better than we did. It was a big game for Palace. They were always going to be desperate to get a win, and that happens. It was a game we needed to stay composed and not sort of fall into the trap of trying to play the game ultimately Palace wanted to play. It turned into a game that was battle after battle, duels, stop-starts, waiting around. We need to be a lot more clear-headed about how we deal with that rather than fall into the trap of doing what we did today." Former Tottenham scout Bryan King believes James Maddison is not happy at Spurs after yet another early withdrawal against Crystal Palace. The England midfielder joined the North London club from Leicester City last summer for £40 million and made an instant impact, winning the Premier League Player of the Month award for August after registering 3 goals and 5 assists in his first 9 matches. However, his form derailed after suffering an injury against Chelsea and struggled to return to his best form since then. This season, his performances have improved, but he has not been able to be as impactful as he was. He was taken off at half-time against West Ham last week, with Ange bringing Pape Matar Sarr on in his place as part of a tactical tweak. The bold move from the Australian resulted in suggestions that he will not shy away from dropping Maddison if needed, and the former Leicester City man was once again withdrawn early, near the 60-minute mark against Palace, a game they lost 1-0. King noted that Maddison did not look happy at all with Ange's decision to bring him off. Speaking to Tottenham News, he said, "Spurs looked a very ordinary team against Palace. We hardly saw any of the attacking players. Maddison was a disappointment again. There was a moment during the first half where I thought he could have scored. However, he seemed to get his feet into a bit of a mess. He just looked out of sorts, to be honest. And by the look of his reaction when he got pulled off just past the hour mark, he doesn't look happy at all." The recent situation with Maddison has prompted speculations over his long-term future at the club. Tony Cascarino recently suggested that the midfielder is fighting for his career at Spurs already, after only a season. The 27-year-old has shown his quality consistently in the Premier League during his time at Leicester City. Fans will be hoping that the player can return to his pre-injury form. Former Tottenham midfielder and pundit Jamie OHara has slammed Ange Postecoglou's decision to play Mikey Moore against Palace. Postecoglou decided to give the 17-year-old a start in the front three alongside Dominic Solanke and Brennan Johnson at Selhurst Park. But OHara believes the manager should have gone with experience and stuck with Timo Werner. He told Sky Sports, "I think Ange got it wrong. I think he picked the wrong team. Starting a 17-year-old away from home against Crystal Palace is a big ask. Moore did all right, but it's a big ask to come in for that game and make something happen. Use him for 20 or 25 minutes, but the damning indictment of that is that Timo Werner has been so poor he has had to start Mikey Moore. But I would have stuck with Werner and given him another game, especially away from home as he's experienced." Palace's Jean-Philippe Mateta scored the only goal of the game just after the half-hour mark to secure their first Premier League win of the season. It was a poor performance from Tottenham, perhaps one of their worst since Ange took over. They failed to handle the intense pressing by Oliver Glasner's men, and could have easily conceded a few more. Vicario was one of the few Tottenham players who can come out of the game with their heads held high after putting in a solid performance. He kept Spurs into the game for as long as he could manage. Timo Werner has been abysmal this season in every game he has started. He has failed to make an impact up front, missing numerous chances, including several simple one-on-one opportunities. 17-year-old Mikey Moore, on the other hand, has been impressing Ange with his performances since pre-season and has been tipped to play a significant role for the first team this season. It made perfect sense to give the teenager the change, especially given Werner's poor form. It is a sentiment that was expressed by Spurs supporters as well, against Manchester United, when they started chanting Moore's name right after the German missed a couple of easy chances. Sampdoria assistant manager Roberto Baronio has made a prediction about where Radu Dragusin might end up if he leaves Tottenham. Dragusin has had to be patient and wait for his opportunities, which have been few and far between. It seems unlikely that the Romanian is going to displace either Mickey van der Ven or Christian Romero in Ange Postecoglou's first-choice defence. It was reported earlier this by the Mirror that the 22-year-old is on the wish list of several Serie A clubs, including Napoli, ahead of the January transfer window. The outlet claimed that for the moment, the centre-back is not considering leaving Spurs and is focused on proving his value at the North London side. However, Baronio, who previously coached Dragusin at Juventus, thinks that the speculation linking him with a move to Napoli might have some legs. The 46-year-old admitted that it would not surprise him if Antonio Conte's men swooped for the Tottenham defender. Baronio told Kiss Kiss Napoli's radio goal, "Dragusin at Napoli? It wouldn't surprise me. He did very well in Italy. He was confirmed at Genoa. If he arrived at Napoli, he would compete for the starting place. I coached him for a while, and I know him very well." Dragusin's outspoken agent, Florian Manea, has insisted twice in a little over a week that an exit from Spurs is not on the cards for his client in January. In his most recent interview with Calcio Napoli 24, Manea made it clear that Tottenham will not sanction Dragusin's departure and that the centre-back wants to fight for his place in the side. When asked about the speculation over the defender's future, he said, "I haven't spoken to anyone and I don't think Tottenham want to let him go." Radu is focused and wants to play his chances with Spurs. I've seen the news too, but I repeat, I haven't heard from anyone. We like that many teams are following him, but I also told the others who called me that, to date, we are not interested. No player is happy if he doesn't play a lot, but he wants to fight for his place. We'll see later how many games he plays, and we'll evaluate. At this moment, it's premature to think about a transfer. That's all for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications on our latest content. Don't forget to like this video and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow our Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs.